They're telling me that they're almost positive that guy's still in that building.
Smoke's pouring out. Smoke's pouring out.
Don't see anybody here yet. Where the hell are they?
And the call for help, a family says, went unanswered far too long. More on their plans to sue Dane County after a loved one's death. Just as much as money, Chris Williams' family wants change at the Dane County 911 Center. Good evening. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Michelle Lee. The man died in a Madison apartment fire in October. Now, it took 3 minutes and 48 seconds to dispatch anyone to the scene, and that is more than 2 minutes longer than the national standard for getting crews to a fire. Tonight, Only News 3's Danica Lewis spoke with his family's attorney one-on-one.
Well, and that attorney tells me tonight, guys, that Williams would still be alive if it hadn't taken so long to get help on the way. And he can prove it, he says, if he has to take the county to court.
6425 Bridge Road, there's a fire over here.
There's just smoke pouring out of the balcony.
Smoke's coming out pretty bad. Don't see anybody here yet. Where the hell are they?
It took nearly 4 minutes to send crews to the fire that killed Chris Williams.
Chris is gone, and they want some answers.
His family has waited 8 months for those answers.
Why wasn't this brought to light previously? Why wasn't this family told about this delay in the dispatch previously?
Williams' family turned to attorney Terrance Polich, and now a notice of claim reserves their right to sue Dane County for up to $250,000.
In some ways, we're serving as a private attorney general, trying to force the county to actually address this, because the responses we're getting so far don't make any sense.
Polich points to a lack of action by the 911 center. Very concerning, he says, are comments from Assistant Fire Chief Lance Langer and the complaint Langer filed about the fire that took Williams' life, which was never answered.
That has to be responded to. The dozens of other complaints have to be responded to. We need to get the facts on the table so the problem can be solved.
The document calls for responses to those complaints, along with routine audits and third-party supervision of the 911 system.
To date, we don't have any assurance that they have investigated these matters, that they know the cause of the delays and the problems, and they have taken, as far as we can tell, no effective steps to address the problems.
Now Polich will wait for the county's response and says the Williams will fight until changes are made.
The family would prefer that the county step up to the plate, take care of the problem, and compensate the family for their loss.
Now, the county can do one of three things: reject this claim, ignore it, or come to the negotiating table. If it's rejected, the Williams will have 6 months from that time, to take the county to court. If nothing is done, the family has 3 years from the fire to take action. Dane County Executive's office declined comment today, saying staff is not allowed to talk about pending litigation.
All right, something we, of course, will continue to follow.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Danica.
Sure thing.
In the meantime, the man at the center of that potential lawsuit, John DeYoung, could learn tonight if he'll keep his job as the 911 Center Director. News 3's Jennifer Hoff continues our team coverage.
Michelle, the County Board of Supervisors is actually expected to vote on DeYoung's contract at tonight's County Board meeting here at the CCB building, He was named Director of Public Safety Communications in 2009 with a respectable resume. As of late, though, some law enforcement members criticized him because of the 911 Center's poor performance answering emergency calls and dispatching crews quickly to scenes. A lengthy News 3 investigation found more than 5,000 times last year it took dispatchers longer than 40 seconds to answer 911 calls. The 911 Center Board plans to conduct a performance review of DeYoung next month and is asking the County Board to delay tonight's vote on DeYoung's contract until that review is done. Now, DeYoung's current contract expired in the spring, so the proposed 5-year deal would pay DeYoung almost $140,000 a year, which is a $20,000 jump since he was hired. Meanwhile, county board members have told News 3 that they welcome input from the 911 Center Board, but that they are still expected to hold tonight's vote, and say sources have told us, too, that they say that they have heard that the contract will likely be approved, and will be here and follow up with the meeting that starts at 7 o'clock and bring you the latest in a live update on News 3 at 10 o'clock. Michelle and Eric.
All right, we look forward to that report. Thank you, Jennifer.